2 shots to make it like I missed the first. How the fuck did you pull up to the motherfucking party and forget the perks? Perk 10, I just popped the perk 10. Perk 30, I just popped that perk 30. Perk 60, I just popped 2 perk 30s. Perky dance, make me do my perky dance. 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 Perky, I just popped another perky. Yeah, I'm feeling low with perkies. Perk 30, I need perkies. I need perks. I need perks. Mr. Glock. Yeah, Camo AP, I'm a soldier. I got old money, I ain't spent yet, this shit mold. Yeah, I have my way around this bitch, I'm having motion. Who the fuck you put up in this blunt? This nigga smoke. Blue diamond chain on me, this bitch match the ocean. 30 in my size, 30 jeans with no holster. Eyes on the prize, yep, I'm tryna stay focused. I'm living like a king, bitch, I'm not your local joker. All about my bread here, yeah, I keep that toaster. I be sipping red and my little bitch sip mimosa. I hop up out the bed, say a prayer and count my dope. Then hop up in my Lamborghini truck with the dozer. Everybody know on me BK, I don't get no fucks. Wagyu steaks up on my plate, I came a long way from Coca. Niggas talking this and that and they don't even know us. And niggas out here cloud chasing for a name, broke as fuck. If you came from nothing, put your rollie on and hold it up. Paper route, hockey team don't know nobody cold as us. Cutthroat be the gang, that's what I bang, nobody holding us. Real stand up, nigga, don't see myself folding up. We turned her into diamonds and I'm trying to turn these boys to dust. Fuck this money and these cars and clothes, this shit don't mean that much. Yup, I made a couple million plus still twist my fingers up. I don't give no fuck about no bitch, a bitch gon' eat it up. Either way, I'ma get mine, I don't play. I rip the 5, not the 6, but I still keep a drink. Got money all up on my mind, can't have no bitch in my face. Yeah, all I see is dollar signs and niggas on the side. Hey,
Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. Happy 4th of July. Happy America Day. We're going to get it started here in about 6-7 minutes. Let's get at least 20-30 people plus on this call, family. Keep sending the link out to anybody that you know that wants to participate in some live trading today. I'm excited to see where everybody is tuning in from, family. Like I said, let's get at least 25-30 people on this call. Let's bless some people with some entries on this beautiful 4th of July, family. We're going to get it started here in a couple of minutes.
The old days were the best, yeah, I know. We all used to run from the 5-0. Before heady one days, it was heads, I was little money, looking up to all my bros. BC part used to be the link up, now when we link up, we both gotta let bang go. TG, Somerset, Lido. I used to run on the hood, it was cool and fine though. Plus I grew up in Tangent, man. So suddenly I got a bust on Tangy. I grew up off Rambos, flickies, who would've thought would've got me a handy. Remember seeing pops on the line, now I get shivers when I stand on that street. I lost Josh from a motorbike. Plan A was never the plan B. My hometown, that's T, but fuck T. Boots Grove Youth Club was the best. Always keeping up with fuckery. Yo, me and bro went halves in a 3-5. Then I got a bus or cab back home from Lucky. SJ could've went pro, but instead he caught him a duppy. Yo, Tottenham, I was raised in a block. That's Manchester, surrounded by dingers and glocks. The ends hot, couple man been shot. I was friending some niggas that stopped. I hope that they drop. Old block 17, it's us. I give all the man in my trust. They know that it's love. Rules don't pedal bikes, don't stop when we riding with bro. With kitchens for mummies, no guns. We started out strong, 30 man, it was long. As time went on, couple man turned soft. But that's how it goes when you grew up in Tottenham. Tried and tested, I do it my pop. I no lie, I got love for my hometown. I love guns, get money in my hometown. 17 postcode in my hometown. I won't change, keep it real when it goes down.
Next generation, they know my name when I get in the station. Know I'm from farm, they know my pagans, they know my bad man. I write in statements. Girls from Tino, we go in a rave. I'm grown up bad if I ever see a shave. And they say don't bring no wood to a doorstep. But shot man 5 minutes from a stay-in. This is our hometown. Went 2 guns up to BG one time, so I know I can call it the gun town. None of my bros can never get touched. I'm thinking I'll ride to the sun down. Bro said I swear, well I is him. Then he got shot
watching that. Yeah, 7 me and Bash should have been in school. Instead, we was out robbing motorbikes. From young bad bands was my broski, even though we had loads of fights. Philip Lane Cage turned me to a soldier. Broad a farm turned me to a boss. I was with PK trying to make rondos. I was with Kush trying to red man's top. Used to have bros on the lane. If you see me at the Tottenham Stadium, now it's bad. When you hear a man screaming out sky, well, send that straight to the sky.
I'm from a block where Fed got killed on, where the ops get drilled from. In a hood where freeze and RIPs, they lost their member, they still ain't healed from. Little shit laid to the farmer state, ask a hometown who run this borough. We used to take chicks with guys from the L, now chicks over there and they're taking cover. And there ain't no love in Man City, is it calm up front like Rashford? Like, ain't got to run to where's parked up, come a long way, park run that clap. Had a sell at Nave, so I hit that there. A man from them side, so I click that there. Pulled off farm, I grew and I braid up. Try to take a trick, you might end up here.
Young gun on one that back calling me splurge. Ride me jump right off the curb. Bentley spread fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Crank up the foreign, I swear. Keep me a stick if they purge. Young gun on one that they working my nerves. I'm about to pull some serve. Fucking this bitch like a perm. Smack from the back of a perm. Ice, the bird. Shitting on all you little turds. Can't take that dick, wait your turn. In my own lane, we can't merge. So with no heads, you can learn. Let's see how much you can earn. Why me go big like the worm? And I ain't smoking no shirt. I'm in the beat with P. Litty. QP ski. I love my bitches, it's pretty. They showing their titties is up to the ceiling. I let her run through a million. I rock with her really, let's fuck on a billion. I'ma get down to the gritty, then fuck up the city, the home of the villains. Ecstasy, wonderful feeling. Smoke out the pound when I'm chillin'. Trappin', I made me a killer. Look, I got everybody wishing. I hope you play your position. I don't want nobody listening. I see them hold with precision. Give us my only decision. Young gun on one that back calling me splurge. Ride me jump right off the curb. Bentley spread fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard.
Good morning, family. What is going on? Hope everyone's having a good day. All right, got 15 people in the cut. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, keep sending out this link to anybody that you feel like wants to hop on some live trading with the gang. But we're gonna go ahead and get it started here today. The first thing that I wanted to do today was kind of go over gold and kind of what I was looking at. So initially right now, I'm currently in shorts from like the beginning of New York session. And I'm holding them right now just with the anticipation that either we're going to just take this low, fill in some of this insufficiency, then continue higher. Or in my eyes, I could see us potentially even coming down and taking these lows. And to me, my real second target, or my real first target, truthfully, is 1918. That's only if we can break below this initial IPA. So right now for gold, what we could potentially see is potential shorts even right now. I like kind of how the hourly opened. We kind of wick back up. You can have your stop basically above the high, this current high. If we go above, then in my eyes, we're probably going to take the high. I don't see us kind of coming back up, back into this candle before taking this low and it being validated, just in my eyes. So to me, you could kind of look for parameters, something along the lines of this. Basically where we were playing off of, where we could come slightly higher, right, is this 5-minute IPA. So we kind of came in and filled a little bit of it. This is really where the IPA was. We came in, we tapped it. So right now, if we were to get this close above, to me, I would look to really just close even my position. If we close above on this 15-minute candle, if I don't get hit out before. So you could re-enter potentially, but at the same time, we could really just fly. We have this insufficiency here towards the downside. We actually, on the 15-minute, we failed to make a lower low, right? So this, to me, was kind of big. We're kind of right now in a counter trend, right? On the 15-minute, just in this little intraday range that we have. So it's just interesting to see kind of how things are playing out. But at the same time, I am looking forward to seeing just how these indices kind of react leading into the beginning of the day. What I could expect, what I kind of want to see is Nas take these lows, fill this IPA, and continue towards the upside. So that's kind of what I'm looking for Nas at the moment. So Nas currently looking for something along the lines of this little 15-minute IPA that we have in the cut. Ideally, good first target would be just these highs. So liquidity over here. To me, it makes sense for us to just continue to the upside. If we don't get this continuation from even where we're at right now, like I said, I would just hope for a potential retracement. DXY right now, really the reason why I said gold could just really continue higher is because to me, DXY looks like it's going to melt. The only thing that's kind of really saving us, I guess, would be this 1 hour, 15-minute kind of area that we're playing off of the side here. So DXY to me at the moment looks bearish, but you know, we could obviously flip. Like I said, DXY is kind of bipolar. So that's why I'm kind of just ready for that manipulative price action from the dollar. So as of right now, like I said, gold, I'd kind of be looking to see how we react out of here. But what I wanted to do, even before we really dove too deep into the actual entry point, one thing that I wanted to share with you guys, just in terms of being able to learn about how to sit here and get back into a trade without having any emotional attachment. Like, drop a 1 in the chat if sometimes you guys might lose a trade and that kind of makes you hesitate on the next trade. So it's like you might take a small loss, and then now going into the next trade, you're like, oh man, like your markup is there, but now you're just nervous because you took a small loss. And it's like, I know a lot of new traders, and even traders with experience that don't really document what they do, they probably encounter that very often. So what I want to be able to do right now is same by, yeah, literally. So what I wanted to do, family, I wanted to share about a 5 or 6 minute audio, right, that's gonna basically help you guys. And I want you guys to take notes on this, right, because I'm gonna be testing you guys kind of at the end of this to see who's paying attention. But in terms of this, family, I'm gonna go ahead and play literally 5 to 6 minutes of this audio real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and really continue with the overall setups and the markups. But like I said, this is gonna be more crucial than actually catching setups, because this is gonna help you guys actually keep the money that you guys make on a day-to-day basis. So make sure you guys have your notepads out. Like I said, it's only 5 minutes, so just please take some notes and pay attention, family. And I promise, like I said, we're gonna get back into the charts right after.
The sixth spiritual law of success is the law of detachment. The law of detachment says that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. This is a very powerful thing to do. You still have the intention, one-pointed intention, one-pointed desire, but you relinquish your attachment to the result. And the moment you relinquish your attachment to the result, combining one-pointed intention with detachment at the same time, you will have that which you desire. The source of wealth, of abundance, of anything in the world is the self. It is the consciousness that knows how to fulfill a need. Everything else is a symbol. Cars and houses and banknotes and clothes and airplanes, these are symbols. Symbols are transitory. They come and go. Chasing symbols is like settling for the map instead of the territory. It creates anxiety. It ends up making you feel hollow and empty inside because you exchange yourself for the symbols of yourself. Anything that exists in the physical universe can be acquired by relinquishing your attachment to it. Attachment comes from poverty consciousness because attachment is always to symbols. Detachment is synonymous with wealth consciousness because with detachment there is freedom to create. Then the symbols of wealth are created spontaneously and effortlessly. Only from detached involvement can one have joy and laughter. Without detachment, we are prisoners of helplessness, hopelessness, mundane needs, trivial concerns, quiet desperation, and seriousness, the distinctive features of everyday mediocre existence and poverty consciousness. People are constantly seeking security. Even attachment to money is a sign of insecurity. And you will find that this seeking of security is actually a very ephemeral thing. You might say, when I have X million dollars, then I'll be secure. Then I'll be financially independent and I will retire. Then I will do all the things I really want to do. But it never happens. Never happens. The need for security is based on not knowing the true self. Those who seek security chase it for a lifetime without ever finding it. It remains elusive and ephemeral because security can never come from money alone. Attachment to money will always create insecurity, no matter how much money you have in the bank. In fact, some of the people who have the most money are the most insecure. True wealth consciousness is the ability to have anything you want, anytime you want, and with least effort. To be grounded in this experience, you have to be grounded in the wisdom of uncertainty. In this uncertainty, you will find freedom to create anything you want. Security and certainty are a result of rigid attachment to the known. However, the known is nothing other than the prison of past conditioning. Uncertainty, on the other hand, is the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. Uncertainty is the same thing as stepping into the unknown in every moment of our existence. The unknown is the field of all possibilities, ever fresh, ever new, always open to the creation of new manifestations. Without uncertainty and the unknown, life is just the stale repetition of outworn memories. You become the victim of the past, and your tormentor today is yourself left over from yesterday. The search for security is an illusion. In Vedic wisdom, the answer to this whole search is what we call the wisdom of insecurity, or the wisdom of uncertainty, which means that this search for security is actually an attachment to the known. And what's the known? The known is our past. It's just the prison of past conditioning. There's no evolution in that, absolutely no evolution at all. And when there is no evolution, there is stagnation, entropy, disorder, and decay. Relinquish your attachment to the known. Step into the unknown, and you will step into the field of all possibilities. In your willingness to step into the unknown, you will have the wisdom of uncertainty factored in. And this means that in every moment of your life, you will have excitement, adventure, mystery. You will experience the fun of life and have an exuberance and zest for living. Every day, you can look for the excitement of what may occur in that field of all possibilities. When you experience uncertainty, you are on the right path. So don't give it up. You don't need to have any idea of what you'll be doing next week or next year, because if you have a very clear idea of what's going to happen and you get rigidly attached to it, then you shut out a whole range of possibilities. One characteristic of the field of all possibilities is infinite correlation. The field can orchestrate an infinity of space-time events to bring about the outcome that is intended. But when you are attached, your intention gets locked into a rigid mindset and you lose the fluidity, the creativity, and the spontaneity inherent in the field. When you get attached, you freeze your desire from that infinite fluidity and flexibility into a rigid framework which interferes with the whole process of creation. Now, this doesn't take away from the law of intention, from goal setting. It's simply saying that you want to go in that direction, you have this goal, but between point A and point B, there's an infinity of possibilities. With uncertainty factored in, you might change direction in any moment if you find a higher ideal or if you find something more exciting. And you're also less likely to force solutions on problems, which enables you to stay alert to opportunities. That's the whole process of evolution. You don't force solutions. When you force solutions on problems, you only create new problems. But when you put your attention on the uncertainty and you witness the uncertainty while you expectantly wait for the solution to emerge out of the chaos and the confusion, then what emerges is something very fabulous, something very exciting. This state of alertness, your preparedness in the present, in the field of uncertainty, meets with your goal and your intention and allows you to seize the opportunity. What's the opportunity? It's contained within every problem that you have in your life. Every single problem that you have in your life is the seed of an opportunity for some greater benefit in your life. And when you have that perception, you open up to a whole range of possibilities. And this keeps the mystery, the wonder, the excitement, the adventure alive. You can look upon every problem that you have in your life as an opportunity for some greater benefit. You stay alert to opportunities by being grounded in the wisdom of uncertainty. And when your preparedness meets opportunity, the solution will spontaneously appear. What comes out of that is called good luck. Good luck is nothing but preparedness and opportunity coming together. When the two are mixed together, with an alert witnessing of the chaos, a solution emerges that will be of evolutionary benefit to you and to all those that you come into contact with. This, then, is the perfect recipe for success, and it is based on the law of detachment.
Applying the law of detachment.
I will put the law of detachment into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. 1. Today I will commit myself to detachment. I will allow myself and those around me the freedom to be as they are. I will not rigidly impose my idea of how things should be. I will not force solutions on problems, thereby creating new problems. I will participate in everything with detached involvement. 2. Today I will factor in uncertainty as an essential ingredient of my experience. In my willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously emerge out of the problem, out of the confusion, disorder, and chaos. The more uncertain things seem to be, the more secure I will feel, because uncertainty is my path to freedom. Through the wisdom of insecurity, I will find my security. 3. I will step into the field of all possibilities and anticipate the excitement that can occur when I remain open to an infinity of choices. When I step into the field of all possibilities, I will experience all the fun, adventure, and mystery of life. And the seventh spiritual law of success is the law of dharma.
Welcome back, family. Drop a 111 in the chat if you guys learned something or you just took something away from what we just listened to. In terms of detachment, is there anything that anyone is going to apply maybe? Right? Maybe type in the chat if you guys took something away and you guys want to share with the gang what you guys learned. Maybe somebody missed something that you guys we're just aware to. Gold right now came all the way to the top of our insufficiency. So in terms of entry point, this would be, to me, the last re-entry. This would be the lowest risk, highest reward scenario that we would get. To me, I personally took a small re-entry. I have my stop loss at 30, right? So I gave it about 10 points to breathe, including spreads. Spreads about 3-4 pips. So I entered actually right at the top of the IPA. So for me, like I said, I'm okay with taking this small risk. Like I said, in my eyes, I do want to see this London session low get taken and this current low that we made for New York. I just couldn't see us not filling a little bit lower before going higher. We obviously could, but that would just be me just kind of expecting what normally occurs. To me, this 30-minute, to leave this insufficiency and to just leave these equal lows, it doesn't quite make sense to me. Plus, I like just overall the price action of us kind of reacting out of this area. 30-minute and hourly wise, we really failed to make at a new high as well. So I kind of like the potential for this. Like I said, if you're really just rocking with your stop above this high, you enter towards the top of this box. To this first target, it's about a 1 to 8. But remember, like I told you, realistically, if we break down there, I'm looking for these lows at 1918 essentially to get taken. I want to see this IPA get filled in a little bit more, and I would like to see price dip into this area before getting a continuation higher. So to me, that's one thing that we could expect potentially for gold in terms of just today's movement. Like I said, at the very minimum, I think we probably get down to at least like 1924 area, fill in some of this to then continue higher. So to me, this would be a good first partial slash like TP1 area if you guys are in gold as well. So like I said, as of right now, clean reaction. As long as in the next minute we can get this engulfing candle to the downside, that would be beautiful. That would be exactly what we want to see in terms of price action. Just us literally coming back into this smaller time frame insufficiency, right? Getting that wick up. Then now this body were to come and engulf, that would be essentially what we look for, especially from the 5-minute perspective. Really what I was initially even kind of looking at, like I played this entry just based off of like a smaller time frame break, so 1 minute, on top of the fact that to me, I just looked at where we came in London session, and this is where a lot of people will sometimes get hit out. This is why I love sessions, because without the sessions, to me, this would just kind of have been another area. But this was the high of New York session. So for those of you that are obviously familiar with the difference in the sessions, you know that New York is typically the most volatile, and that's just because of the banks just that are obviously controlling the liquidity, the money that flows through the markets, right? The banks in at least America and Canada are open around 9 o'clock, right? 9:30, 10 o'clock. So just understanding that in itself, the fact that we came and we essentially ran, right? If we sit here and we look at like the 30-minute, when we think of where most of the liquidity or where most of the money is sitting, right? For people that sold yesterday, for example, most of the money is resting in here. So the body, you see how there's this big body, this last up candle? So most people who are selling and who did sell, sold in this up candle and started selling on these bodies down, right? So people are selling all in here, people are selling here, people are selling in here. And what does price end up doing? Price goes, and where do we wick right above? We wick right above the body of these candles. So this is what I mean when I say it's fractal. It's like there's no coincidence that we come and we sweep yesterday's New York high in London session, and as soon as we do that, right, we actually immediately get just this 5-minute break of structure, right? So to me, like I said, we have liquidity resting down there, but our 5-minute break of structure occurs once we close below this low in here. So once this low closed below, to me, this re-entry, this is why to me this is a validated re-entry area, because in my eyes, once we broke that 5-minute, if we were to have come above this 5-minute IPA, this up candle would have been the last thing that would have validated this potential position for me, right? But notice how in terms of entry area, this insufficiency, like I said, it just aligned with what we were looking for. So do you guys see how literally we get into this area, and this is what I talk about, just having these areas. This is why I don't like to play the open of insufficiencies, because it's like, For example, if you played the open of this IPA, right, your entry is not as good as the person who entered at the top. Because, for example, it's like if you entered here, right, you have a 12 pip stop loss, give or take, right, to the high. If you entered at the higher area, you have about a six pip stop. The difference between the two entries now is basically this top entry, you could damn near break even right now, right? If you entered at top, you should be able to break even. Price really shouldn't come back. I would say 1030, we should probably wick up, right, which would make sense. So we could wick back into this area. So I would say just, you could break even after 1030 open, once we see that. But basically, right, if you were to be breaking even here, for example, right, the likelihood of you getting hit out right now is going to be higher than the person who is entering at the top of this area, right? So drop a $sign if you guys are in gold. You guys should be up a couple pips. If you entered like halfway into the box, you should be up 5, 6. But ideally, like I said, this should be the highest area we should go. We really shouldn't push too much higher if we are really going to break down. To me, like I said, DXY looks like it's gonna fall through the face of the earth. But like I said, it's bipolar, right? So we could really just tap this IPA again and fly. But if not, like I said, you could break even if you entered at the top of gold, or just look to potentially reduce your risk a little bit. Because like I said, we're in a couple pips of profit, but at the same time, we do want to see price run. We wouldn't want to see us just lag around too much, right? In my eyes, 30. Alright, I haven't really touched 30 since last week. It looks like we actually came into this area that we marked up last week, though. It looks like 4 hour wise, we actually failed to really break above our last higher high, right? 4 hour wise, we broke structure to the downside. So this is actually interesting because I did like shorts on 30, or at least I was looking to start potentially seeing shorts play out for 30. So as of right now, just immediately looking at price action, obviously we have that higher time frame point of interest, right, that's obviously what we reacted off of in terms of the 4 hour, right? But what we could potentially see with US 30 is we have a lot of equal highs. We have some liquidity resting in here, right, as well as liquidity up in here as well. So there's a lot of liquidity that we really created today, just on our way to kind of breaking price down. So what I could potentially see is we could really just continue, right? We don't have to come up here today. I would say that could potentially be something for tomorrow, just because today is a holiday. So quote unquote, the markets aren't supposed to be moving as much as they are, and really it hasn't moved as much as we normally move. Like for example, Monday, right, we moved about 174 points, give or take, from New York Open, right? So far we've only moved about 42 today. So to me, that leads me to believe that we could potentially just be working our way and just building targets, right, to come back and capture to then fill for tomorrow. So to me, this more than likely would probably be a tomorrow type entry. Like if I do say so myself. For NAS, like I said, I wouldn't really be looking shorts for NAS, even though we probably do fall a little bit. But to me, I'm looking more for us, like I said, to take these lows and dig into this IPA to then continue higher for NAS. So like I was kind of explaining the last couple of days, I'm definitely more bullish on NAS and definitely more willing to short US 30. Especially when it comes down to just the overall directional bias. Like I said, NAS looks good to really continue off of this gap fill, right? We came in, we filled this gap. Right now, it looks like to me we're just creating more targets for us to come and take, right? More liquidity, more highs. So in terms of the indices, I would say today is not really the best day to necessarily get into a move. I just think that everything tomorrow will get reversed that we do today. So for example, like this is what I would expect to see tomorrow, right? On potentially Let's go to Nas, right? So basically, this is our little mini range, right? So this is basically where we've been consolidating in the whole day, right? We've just been going sideways since the market opened. So to me, just playing off of this high and low of today, what I'm really looking at this as, it's kind of like a pocket of money, right? So where's the money resting? The money is resting all in here. And then we have money. It's really all here. Like I said, we have really a bulk of our liquidity is over here, right? But we do have some new highs that we just created right now. So just initially looking at that, like I said, what we can expect to see is just these highs and lows to get taken. So I would expect something like this at market open, right? We sweep down tomorrow, right, to then take these highs. But how we sweep down, we probably just kind of consolidate a little bit more, push up, maybe push down. Like, I just really expect a lot of manipulation out of this area, and just quick impulsive just wicks, right, to come and fill in those little insufficiencies. Like I said, on the 30-minute, we have this little insufficiency right here that we're really looking to target for potential entries. So it's really just going to come down to how price just reacts out of this area as a whole. Gold, taking a look at it, like I said, this is beautiful, kind of how this 15-minute opened. As long as we get this close, like, we should really just fall, right? This is the 5-minute. Oh, this is the beginning of the 30-minute open, right? So I thought this is the last 15 minutes of the hour. So basically, I like the way that this hour opened with this wick. 15-minute wise, we shouldn't push higher. To me, we should really just kind of what we did right now. We should continue to print down if we're right. If we're wrong, like I said, that's the only reason why we come back up. So that's just for you guys to know. Like I said, if we start coming back up, you could potentially close with your small profits, or close with a small loss, or close basically break even if you felt as though it looked like we were going to go higher. But like I said, just be a little bit patient. Gold is one of those things that you trade that if you're too impatient, you're probably going to drive yourself insane, because you're going to like close trades or maybe move your stop loss break even too early, and then price is really going to go in the direction that you wanted it to, and then you're going to be salty because you're like, oh my gosh, knew it was going to do that. So overall, right, in terms of the 5-minute, like I said, we're basically playing this 5-minute entry. So this what we just got that happened right now is beautiful in terms of what we want to see, because we played a 5-minute break of structure. Once we close and broke below here, we come back up, fill this insufficiency. What do we also do? We tap off the body of this candle. What is that? We mitigate, right? So we're essentially able to just continue pushing price down with there being a healthy price action, right? There isn't any insufficiencies. There aren't any imbalances that we left behind. We also mitigated, which allows us to create this new quote-unquote target. This is basically going to be our re-entry area if we're able to break down and make a new lower low. And obviously it validates in terms of what we look for in that aspect. But overall, like I said, this is just clean. This is slow and steady. Like, remember, it's the news. So even though I know on gold, for the most part, you're used to like crazy 50, 60, 70 pip moves in 5-10 minutes. This is a beautiful reaction. This is just, like I said, the market going with the volatility, with the money that's moving in the market today. If US 30s only moved 30 points today, you have to really put into perspective that I'm pretty sure gold's actually moved more than that. Yeah, gold's moved like the same as US 30 today, just in New York session alone. So just understanding that, like I said, even yesterday, looking at just how much we moved during New York session, the holiday is definitely the reason for just less volatility. So, 186 pips yesterday in New York session. Today, as of right now, we've gone down 40. We basically gone back up about 30, 35, and now if we break down below this low, will basically be a continuation of this initial sell-off. But like I said, it really is just going to come down to what the dollar, how the dollar plays out. Like I said, 15-minute wise, we didn't quite get a break of structure, but I just do like how we basically just created a 15-minute support. So to me, these equal lows are just so beautiful, like I said. So to me, this first little target right here, like I expect to see a bounce off of this. So like I said, at about 1925, I would say would be a good area to break even and partial. You know, definitely pay yourself a little bit just in case we do reverse. You don't want to sit here and just have caught a trade with no drawdown to then just have it end up running back without paying yourself at least a little bit. You know, pay yourself a tiny bit. But overall, like I said, if we come back up, like if right now in the next 2 minutes we kind of engulf and we close towards the upside, to me, you could just even potentially look to close. You could wait for the 15-minute candle to play out, but to me, I wouldn't really want to see any smaller time frame bullish candles engulfing. But overall, really how we're going to validate this in terms of the higher time frame, 30-minute wise, right? As long as we get this close and we engulf, to me, we should engulf all of the structure for right. I don't think that there's no way that we don't. That's just my opinion. Obviously, it could be wrong, but I think if we're right in terms of the sells, and not just right into this area, I mean right meaning into our lower area, then in my eyes, I would honestly expect to see just this whole structure get engulfed. So if that happens, to me, 1918 to 1915 area would definitely be where I'm looking to target. But like I said, this is always going to be the safest place to kind of break even and partial, especially on this particular trade. So if you're in on gold, like I said, that's kind of the position management behind what we are looking for. US 30, like I said, we're not getting too much movement. We're kind of just moving slow. Like I said, I wouldn't even touch the indices today. We're just not in an area right now where I think entries are really, they make sense for longs or shorts. On top of the fact that we're not really close to any points of interest. I wouldn't really be buying 30, quote unquote, just because 30-minute wise and hourly wise, and I believe all the way up to the 4 hour, we actually did break to the downside. So I'm kind of looking at this as a break of structure on the 4 hour for 30. So this is what we could potentially see for NAS too. We could potentially see this high get taken once more, and then ideally from there we could see NAS potentially break down as well. A little bit, I don't know how much lower, but to me, I'm personally more bullish on NAS. So even if we do break down here, as long as we break down here before we take all of these highs up towards the upside, I would still validate that potential entry. So let's take a look at crypto. I know a lot of you guys love crypto, but you just be scared. I know for me, like when I first started trading, crypto was just so hard for me to position myself into on like a margin aspect, or not even margin, but just like physically investing. Like I just always used to buy the all-time highs. Like I would never buy when my mentors told me to, and I would always buy it like, oh, we're up 10-20%, then I would buy it, and then it would reverse, and then I would get salted. Like Bitcoin, I'll show you guys where I bought Bitcoin the first time. So Bitcoin, the first time I ever bought Bitcoin, right? My mentors are like, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And like they told me where it was going to come down to. They're like, it's going to come to about 4K, right? This is where they told me to buy Bitcoin. So they told me, this is where all my mentors bought Bitcoin, right? But they fucked up by telling Cash to buy that shit in here. So I actually bought it in here, I think. Yeah, it was July. I used like one of my first residual checks. I remember I put in the whole P600 check. I bought Bitcoin at 12,700. And literally that was in July 2019, right? For the next year, basically, I was in drawdown. I watched my $160 just disappear. I think it was a little bit more than that, actually. I want to say that I put in like probably $500, which wasn't a lot, but at the time it seemed crazy because I was expecting my 500 to flip to 10K in 10 days, not my $500 flip to $10, right? So the thing about margin trading, or not margin trading, but the thing about when you actually trading and physically buying crypto and you don't have a lot of capital, the thing is you want to take profits, right? Your best friend is going to be taking profits at higher highs and just making sure that you recycle profits. Because I find the one thing about new traders and where they really go wrong is they don't pay themselves. Like you guys catch these amazing entries, you catch these beautiful trades, but then you just don't end up paying yourself, and then from there you just watch yourself just missing out on the bottom, right? Because I watch my mentors just buy, hold all of this. I caught other coins, right? But I didn't catch Bitcoin, I didn't catch Ethereum, right? The coin that I caught that I actually made the highest ROI off of, it was somewhere in like a couple thousand%, right? When it came down to Cardano. But basically, I bought Cardano at 10th of a cent. So we're at 29 cents right now. So to put into perspective, we're at 0.29, right, of a dollar. I bought it at 0.001. Okay, that's where I bought. So I bought Cardano when it was all the way down there, and it went to about $3, right? $3-4 around there. So it's like, just understanding that return on investment, like I said, is crazy. If you were to have put, like for me, I didn't even put anything crazy into that. I literally put $50 into that, right? And $50 turned into like 5,000. So it's like, everybody here on this call has $50, right? So imagine just being able to put your $50 in the right place at the right time. So this is why I say you don't just want to buy crypto just for buying crypto, especially if you don't have money. If you have capital, like if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're going to put in 500 to 1,000 into a coin to hold long term and you don't plan to touch it, that's fine, right? But if you don't have thousands of dollars, if you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting away, ideally you're going to want to look to sit there and play with what you can, one, afford to lose, and two, you're going to want to sit there and you're going to want to position yourself at lows instead of positioning yourself at all-time highs, right? Learn from my mistake, okay? Drop an 888 if you guys rather learn from me than make the same stupid mistakes that not just I've made, but a lot of my students, a lot of my mentors, right? Some things you just have to experience on your own because we're a little bit egotistical, right? It's like when you're a kid, your parent tells you, you know, don't play with that toy. It's like the first thing that runs through your head is I want to play with that toy just because you were told not to. So it's like when you're told don't over leverage, right? Don't do this. You're like, yeah, you know, I might not do that, but whatever. I'm gonna try it anyway because, you know, who cares? I'm built different. Cash sucks. Like, you know, I'm him, I'm her. You know, I'm Himothy. Cash is not. Boom. That's what you guys are sitting there thinking, and then you guys get clapped, and you're like, damn, Cash told me not to do this. And now you guys look like jackasses because you don't want to come and you don't want to tell me what you did, even though I already know what you did. And now you're going to sit here and you're going to pretend like, you don't know what the issue is with your trading. When in reality, it's like, you're the issue. Like I said, there's a lot of people on this call, and it's just about taking accountability for your own trades. Because like I said, it looks all fun and dandy when people are sitting here posting their trades and posting their entries. But you'll see in 2-3 years when people literally haven't traveled at all, they haven't changed their lifestyle, like they haven't quit their jobs, like when people haven't made no changes, like you have to start realizing that people are not really doing nothing, right? Like, how is it that you're making so much money from trading but you clock in every day? It's like you have to make things make sense. Like, unless you love your job, there's no reason why you're clocking in. Like, if you have to go to a job that you hate, especially a job that you don't like, and you're self-sufficient off trading, it just doesn't make any sense. Nah, for real. But it really just comes down to the ability to just align yourself with the people that have what you want. Like, you could fuck up the results that you get just by having proximity with people that don't have what you want. Like, a lot of people come into trading, they want to trade with their best friend, they want to trade with their you know, boyfriend, their girlfriend, their friend that they went to elementary school with, their best high school friend. Like, people want to trade with all of these people that they grew up with, etc., right? But when it comes down to the grind, it's like some of you guys are just ahead of your friends, some of you are ahead of your family, some of you are ahead of just the people in your circle when it comes down to the work ethic and the lifestyle. And then what ends up happening is you conform to these lazy people around you. It's like some of you work so hard, but the people around you are so lazy and they hold you back. And it's like you love these people so much and you justify, oh, I love this person, this is my best friend, oh my god, this person, blah blah blah. And it's like you guys are both broke and you both been broke for fucking a year. And it's like, you don't think that there's anything wrong with that? Because it's like, you keep telling that person to change. You keep showing that person the game that you're learning. You keep introducing this person to all of those calls, or these people. It could be multiple people. And they're not listening. I know all of you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's like, why are you continue to mingle and interact with people that don't have what you want, expecting to get a result that you don't even have? It's like, it's crazy. It's like, how do you sit here and you want to become a self-sufficient trader, but you hang around 5 people that build a business every single day? They're network marketers. Or how do you hang around 5 people who are employees and don't invest their money outside of their 9 to 5? There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but if you only have a 9 to 5, that's the issue. So you guys all work but then you're on a trading call, right? So it's like you clearly want more. So that's why you're here, right? But there's some people that just have a job and that's it. They don't want the extra. They don't care. And to me, that's an issue. I don't want to be around people like that. So how could you keep putting yourself around people like that, but then expecting a completely different result? It's like, that's insanity. And this is the time period that we're in when it comes down to trading. If you want to get to the next level, you need to remove everything from, like, everything that doesn't literally serve you in a way where, I mean, like, just because someone's nice to you doesn't mean you gotta have them around you. Like, just because someone fucking motivates you doesn't mean you gotta have them around you. Like, do you guys want to be around a bunch of groupies, or do you guys want to be around a bunch of alphas and a bunch of people that can make some moves? Because to me, it seems like a lot of you guys want to be around a bunch of groupies, a bunch of people who just sit here and it's like, yeah, we're here. It's like, fuck that. It's the people that are the most isolated that are putting in the most work. You can't sit here and be around a whole group of people and expect, like, think about this. It's like when you're in class and you were in university, you were in college, you were in high school, and you were all your friends. If all your friends were in the same class, you were getting no fucking work done. Like, the likelihood of you actually paying attention as much as you should in that class is going to go significantly down versus you being in a space where you know absolutely fucking nobody. But it's like, you know the difference between you being with all your friends and you being in the AP gifted honors class is you might fucking not get along with anyone when you first get to the honors class. But guess what? All of these people, some way, one way, form or another, are going to relate to you because you guys are both fucking geniuses, or else you wouldn't be in the fucking AP class. So just because you guys look a little bit different, you guys sit here and you don't want to go fuck with these people, and you don't want, like, you guys don't want to hang around people that are like nerds compared to you, or like losers compared to whatever your perspective of a cool person is, because you don't want to taint your credibility or reputation. It's like, motherfucker, like, I was the type of person in high school where it's like, the losers, those are my friends. The popular kids, I was the popular kids. I was the fucking jock. I was the athlete. I was the drug dealer. Like, I was the person in high school that I did a lot of shit, but it's like, I liked everybody. Like, I didn't care who you were, where you came from, as long as you didn't smell like shit. Because in high school, you guys know that's a problem. People don't be using no fucking deodorant. As long as you use deodorant, I could kick it with you. See what I'm saying? So, to me, a lot of you guys just conform because you're like, this is my friend, this is my homie, this is... But it's like, your homie doesn't have the same goals as you. So how do you sit here and tell me that you love your homie, but it's like you're sitting here and you're using your homie as the excuse as to why you're not getting to the next level to be able to help him? If you love your friend so much, why do you not separate yourself to then put them in position where you can do whatever they want? This is what I had to explain to my family the other day. It's like, why would you sit here and just do something so redundant, right? Instead of working on your dreams, when it's like, we can sit here and we can open up family businesses. Like, if you're passionate, like I told my brother, he likes to cook. I'm like, you could open up a meal prep business and start charging people for meals, right? Because you know how to cook exotic food. I told a couple other people in my family that you could do this, you could do that. And it's just about the creativity, but then also taking the action. It's like, you guys get unmotivated by being around fucking people that don't have the same goals as you, and you guys wonder why you're so drained. It's like, you're sitting here trying to make $1 million off of trading, and then the person beside you is sitting there thinking about how they can make $500 this week, and that's fine with them. $500 in a week is fine with them. They're rich in their eyes. So it's like, how the fuck do you sit here and you have like Louis Vuitton goals, Richard Mille goals, Rolex goals, but then you're hanging around with people that fucking don't even want to spend the money at Walmart, don't even want to spend the money at Target? Like, to me, what I learned, you know, this is actually one of the things, like, besides structure, whoa, excuse me. Besides structure, Iffy teaches me a lot of stuff, but, you know, structure, and I would say this one line are probably the two things that I listen to the most in terms of what Iffy has taught me, right? And really what he said is, sometimes, you know, Cash, you just got to spend a little extra. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you just got to spend a little extra. Because he's like, I don't know why, but he's like, whenever I try and go the cheaper route, for some reason, things just always end up being more expensive. And I was like, what do you mean, bro? He's like, I don't know, bro. He's like, I try and go for the cheaper hotel, and then the cheaper hotel ends up being more than the hotel that I didn't want to spend that little extra $50 on. But then it's like, I would have spent the extra $50 if I knew this would have been the case. It's like, I'm sure we've all been in those scenarios before where we're like, damn, we thought the cheaper route would have been better. It's like, you know, the cheaper route might have took an hour longer than the more expensive route, right? So it's like certain things like that. I really sit here and I'm like, okay, it's better to spend a little extra money sometimes, right? Because the service, it's like, you might sit here and think, okay, going to a 5-star hotel versus going to, you know, a $60 a night Motel 6 is not a big deal. But it's like, yes, it's a huge deal, because it's like, it comes down to even the people that work there. The motherfucker who works at the Motel 6 is probably, he's probably stinky. He works in a Motel 6. He could be clean, but it's like, for the most part, he's probably grimy, right? But it's like the person that works at a 5-star hotel, the concierge service, they're in a suit and tie. Like, do you guys notice the difference between when you guys go into McDonald's, what they look like, versus when you go into a 5-star restaurant? Have you guys ever noticed that they look a little bit nicer in the restaurants than they do in McDonald's? Have you guys ever wondered why? It's because you fucking pay $50 as soon as you sit down in a 5-star restaurant. At McDonald's, you can feed a fucking village in Africa for $50. So it's like, this is where you have to really make sense. Yeah, you have to make certain things, like, the better questions we ask, the better answers we get. And sometimes, like, quite frankly, most of us are just thinking about stupid shit. Like, how are you guys thinking about all of these goals, but then you haven't sat here and actually connected with people that have the results that you want? Like, how many people do you talk to every day that have the trading results that you want? And it's like, you think, oh, it's as easy as just messaging these people and these people are going to fuck with you. It's a vibration. You have to be vibrating at the same level as them. So if you're not doing your personal development, if you're not journaling, if you're not somebody who can sit here and be very coachable and have a high teachability index, if you're not somebody who's just very consistent, you're not somebody who's disciplined, it's not going to matter. It's really not going to matter at all. Like, you just have to have these characteristics built into you, or else it's not going to fucking matter. A lot of the time we sit here and, like I said, the trading wise, it's like, shit, trade's moving a little slow right now, right? Like I said, ideally we want to see price drop, but it's like right now it looks like, shit, we could potentially close, right? And it's not to say that it's not going to go down, but it's just based off of price action right now with 5 minutes left in the hour, right? We failed to break below this 5-minute low, which is ideally what we would have wanted to see. 3-minute wise, we failed to make a new lower low. So on all of the smaller time frames, we failed to make a lower low based off of what we were looking for. Plus, on top of that, DXY still looks like it's going to fall through the face of the earth, right? Even though we got this little pop up here, it still looks like we're going to fall through the face of the earth. But to me, I would hold gold until the end of the hour, just because if DXY does engulf, if we do manage to somehow engulf this candle, which I could see happening still, then to me, gold will more than likely be good to continue towards the downside. If we don't, we could wick up and then continue towards the downside, which would make sense. Which would probably have gold wick down and then continue to fly. So that's just one thing to keep notice. But if DXY closes like how it does, that would be good for us. So we want to see DXY close up. Obviously, that would help, or it should help make gold ideally close lower. So the whole moral of today's call was really just to really be an awareness of who's in your circle. Who do you talk to? Like I said, who are you even mentored by? Like, a lot of you guys are mentored by people and it's like, oh, boom. Like, I'm loyal to this person, I'm loyal to that person. So you guys gotta stop being loyal to people before you're loyal to yourself. Like, you guys be loyal to everything but yourselves and you wonder why you guys never fucking go nowhere. It's like, you're loyal to companies before you're loyal to yourself. You're loyal to fucking other people before you're loyal to yourself. Like, just stay consistent with what feels good in your heart. Like, just, I challenge all of you guys for the next 24 hours. Just do what feels right in your heart. So really sit here and think about, like, have you been getting the help that you need in terms of mentorship? Because I know a lot of you guys come from my free call, and it's like a lot of you guys pay for mentorship, or like you guys are a part of other teams, and then it's like you hop on my calls and my shit more than you hop on your own teams because your team doesn't actually provide value. Your team just plugs and plays you to a system that we can plug and play you into as well. But it's like, shit, I have 6 educators that teach on this platform in my team chat, right? Which are coincidentally my friends as well as my mentors, right? So in terms of really just being able to understand, like, if you've been trading for longer than 6 months and you're not funded and you haven't withdrawn out of your trade, if you haven't withdrew consistently out of your trading account, you've been trading 6 months. And I'm not talking big withdrawals. I'm talking you being able to withdraw $5 to $10, $20, $50, like anything is fine. But I'm talking consistently. I'm talking twice a month, 3 times a month for the last 6 months. It's like you're just plugged in with the wrong people. Because I know people that genuinely come in and they're able to be profitable from damn near day one. Like maybe month 1, month 2, they might be down a couple percent. But as long as you get risk management down right away, there's no way that you really go down anything that's too significant. That 1 to 20 is not going to sit here and have you just your whole demeanor is different. Okay, so in terms of this, family, right, there's 3 minutes left in the hour, right? So if you guys gained any value today, I want you guys to drop a like, right? I want you guys as well to shoot me a DM, right? Shoot me a DM. Just what your favorite thing about these calls is. I want to get some feedback in terms of just how everything is, right? How people really have enjoyed everything as a whole when it comes down to not only trading, but as well as everything. Like, drop in the chats today if you guys gained any type of value, right? Drop in the chat just one thing that you guys took away, maybe one word, maybe a sentence, maybe a phrase. Just drop in the chat, right? Because I know you guys are in some profits, so you guys, you owe me 15 words, right? You owe me for every pip we're in profit for gold. Thank you as well. Thank you for tuning in. I'm grateful for all of you guys, right? I asked for 20 plus today. We got 20 plus right at the beginning of the call. We had about 22, 23 for a good majority, right? Which is amazing. The people that hopped off, they definitely, are missing out on the profits if they didn't take or if they didn't hold. But ideally, in terms of gold right now, you guys should be able to break even, family. Right, I definitely appreciate you guys, because like I said, it's fun. Like, to me, I don't think there's a lot of other educators that consistently do this every single fucking week, where it's like we sit here, we have a good conversation, we find fucking entries, and then we make money. Like, we're finding these entries live. Like, family, like, who's fucking calling out these IPAs? Like I said, telling you to enter at the top, telling you guys to enter at the top, not just them entering at the top. I told you enter here, right? There's a difference between telling you to enter here and then doing different things. Good luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. Yeah, literally. Luis, I hope he's on this call, right? I hope he watches it, because that was literally the quote that I was butchering yesterday. I was telling him that. I'm like, that's what luck is. I'm like, there's no such thing as luck. I said it was something different. I said it was preparedness meets faith, which I guess faith, opportunity, you get opportunity from being faithful. But at the same time, that to me, I love that quote as well. But I definitely do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, if you guys took gold, ideally we should be able to break even now. Lovely engulfing candle. We probably will just come wick up at the top of the hour, and then hopefully we get this continuation towards the downside. Everything else in terms of metals looks extremely bullish, but we will definitely see. Like I said, we got the close that we were looking for. Ideally, as long as we get this pop up initially right at the beginning of the hour, like I said, we probably, at the very least, I think we filled this IPA. Like I said, I think this first target is a very realistic target. With a 5 pip risk for about 43 on the flip at the first target, you can't go wrong. Like I said, that's a 1 to 8. Even what we're up right now, if you took less than a 10 pip stop, you're up about a 1 to 3. So like I was explaining, like, I dropped in my chat today the poll. I was just like, yo, like, anything under a 1 to 10 is trash in my opinion. It's just because, like, look at how fast we catch 1 to 3s. Like, some people try so hard to catch a 1 to 3. Like, I don't even try to catch 1 to 3s. 1 to 3s are easy. Like 1 to 5s, 1 to 3s, even 1 to 10s are getting quite easy. So it's like, to me, what you really have to sit here and do is just identify where you can start to catch longer moves, because typically the 1 to 20s, you're only going to need 1 to 20, right? But when you trade 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s, you might be sitting there looking for a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 every day, every hour, right? But when you look for 1 to 20s, there might only be 2 or 3 1 to 20 opportunities every week, depending on how you can shrink your stop loss, right? So just those little things, like I said, family, it's good to stay aware of. But, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, we're in a couple pips of profit, at least 10 to 15 pips. Like I said, you go ahead and break even if you got in at this 5-minute area. If not, like I said, just, I wouldn't necessarily re-enter right now. I would just anticipate either we're going to fall into our first take profit, or we're just going to continue higher. We're going to get hit break even. So like I said, today especially, I would say just break even. There's no point in playing with profits if you guys are up already, especially on the holiday. To me, like I said, continuation makes sense in my eyes, but we're extremely bearish on DXY. So definitely keep that in mind. But with that being said, family, I love and appreciate you guys, and I hope to catch you tomorrow on live. Let's aim for 30 tomorrow, family. I know we can do it, but I'm going to catch you guys on the flip. Peace.